In this Copilot Unplugged video, I want to talk about generating reports with Copilot. Now I have a lot to say about this, so we're going to take it one thing at a time. The first thing I want to talk about is theme files and how they work with Copilot for Power BI. This is relevant because theme files affect how your visuals are formatting, so you're going to get different results depending on what theme you're using. If you've already added a visual to a report, then Copilot's going to use the default theme, but if Copilot is just generating a report page in an empty report, it's going to apply the Copilot theme. If you like the Copilot theme, you can save it and export it and then use it for your own reports. But I think it's important to keep in mind that the Copilot theme is not generated by Copilot. It's something created and distributed by Microsoft. It is not something that the AI produces or outputs as a result of your prompt. So you can't change this theme file, but you can always modify it after you export it. So let's take a look. Right now, I'm looking at our simple report, reporting on a sales process, and I can ask Copilot, hey, I want to create a new report page. It's going to give me some suggestions based on my semantic model schema, and I strongly encourage you to take these suggestions with a grain of salt, because there's a lot of context that is missing from your data model schema. And Copilot is really going to be extrapolating a lot on the basis of that schema and what it has versus your actual business process and what you want to report on. So I strongly advise that if you do read this, that you just keep in mind a high-level ideation point of view and what you could actually get out of this from your own ideas in terms of how this helps you think and inspire, rather than using this as direct guidance of what kinds of reports and visuals you should make. If you need more help there, I strongly suggest you talk to your business users and use that and requirements gathering as a basis of what to make, and not some discussion that you're going to have with an AI. So what we're going to start off with is we're going to say, please generate for me a report page about on-time delivery. I want to see on-time delivery for value, lines, and quantity, and I want to see the monthly trend as well as a breakdown by key account for these three metrics. Please do not include any filters or slicers on the page. So what I've done is I've asked it to report on a particular process using a couple different measures I have in the model. It says there's an error, so let's try again. Sometimes that happens when working with Copilot, that you can randomly get these errors, and it seems like this was one of those cases. So I just retried it. So immediately once we see is what we see here is that we have a title that's not legible. We have values that aren't legible. And we also have, a kind of mix match of what's used here. So why is Copilot producing this particular output? Well, it's using the theme, the custom theme that I already have in my report. And it's already trying to determine on the basis of some predefined sizes for the containers. It's trying to fit those and merge that with my theme defaults. And that's creating these kind of unexpected outputs. So if you have a custom theme file that you've applied, it's very likely that the results you get with Copilot are not going to be very good, because Copilot has been built and tested not on your theme file, but on the default themes from Power BI. So that's the first thing you could keep in mind. And the second thing is that I can ask Copilot to make these adjustments, like, can you make the title larger, specifically increase the height of the title and the cards. But Copilot is unable to make specific formatting changes to these visuals. Instead, it's going to instruct me on how to do that. And so you're going to have to do that manually. So the chances are, if you have a custom theme file and a specific design that you're already trying to work toward, Copilot likely isn't going to be very helpful or useful for you, and it's definitely not going to help you increase your productivity. So the other thing to keep in mind is that Copilot has these kind of predefined layouts, and it's making some decisions about where to put things in those layouts based off of what input that you gave. And of course, the reason why it's giving this strange trend is because it's taking into account any filters that we have across all of our pages. So I would actually get that monthly trend if I removed that filter. So it can't override the filter context that I have active. The other thing that I want to point out is that it's not necessarily going to have a very logical layout. Like you see, we have bar chart, bar chart, bar chart, line chart, line chart, line chart. We also have value here, lines. We have value here, quantity. So it's not going to lay things out in a logical way like value, lines, quantity, like you might expect. So that's another reason why, if you already have a specific layout in mind, or something that seems logical to you, either on the basis of the metrics in your process or your design thinking, then just go with that. And it's probably going to be faster than having Copilot do it for you. So that's it. It's going to use your custom theme. It's probably not going to work very well because it wasn't built and designed to work with custom themes very well. And especially if you have things like drop shadows and glow and stuff like that, it's definitely not going to work. Now, in contrast, if we take that same prompt and we apply it to an empty report, it's going to look much different. And the reason why it's going to look different is because Copilot is going to apply a Copilot theme file to your report page. And then once it does that, because that was kind of how it was designed originally, you're going to see that it looks much better. But the main reason why it looks better is not only because of the even layout and because we can actually read things now, but also because the colors are consistent with the background. It's got this really nice gradient, this kind of stuff. Now, you still have all the disadvantages of the fact that it's not aligned. Like we have value here and here, but then we have lines here, that it seems to be choosing colors randomly. Like we have lines here, which is purple, lines here, which is pink, lines, which is black. So there's no real consistency in the colors. It's not using visual best practices in that regard at all. But at least there are some options that are done to make these visuals more readable. So one interesting thing here is that if you like this theme file, like this background image, for example, you could actually take this and you can see that it has this Copilot theme applied in the view ribbon. If you hover on it, if I just get it show up, if I hover on it, you see it says Copilot_theme. You can actually export that theme, save current theme, and then you can then browse and put it in other reports. So in a new report, you can apply that theme, and then that theme will be active, and all the new pages will have that background image, and will have whatever formatting that they've set up for this default Copilot view. So this is something that can be actually quite nice for you if you just want to grab that theme file. You can just generate the report page, grab the theme. You can also use it as a starting point. Otherwise, if you have a specific layout or design in mind, I really don't think you're getting much advantage out of using Copilot to generate the report page. But we'll also talk in a lot more detail about how to really kind of produce the best prompts to be able to get the best results. Like in this case, this is quite a challenging prompt for Copilot, to be fair, because of the similarity between these metrics. And what cases would you consider using this versus what cases would you not? Aside from just keeping in mind that if you have a design in your head, probably Copilot's not going to help you get there. Copilot is usually better if you're just working kind of tabula rasa, completely blank slate, and you just kind of want to see where you land, get some ideas. But this isn't how you should be designing a report. You should be honestly designing a report by getting those ideas from talking to users. Again, not from talking from an AI. So that's it for now. I'll see you in the next one.